Hello, wonderful followers and subscribers of Holy Ghost, and I hope this video finds you well. Guys, a lot of Nigerians, journalists, especially most folks from Edo State, they've been asking, what is the problem with APC candidate who is contesting for the governorship election next month, September? Why is this guy refusing to grant interview? Even on campaign grant, he doesn't speak. The person who speaks for him is Adams Oshomole. What's the problem? Now, I want you to watch this video by one of the Edo Life from Canada. She spoke. Okay. Now, before you watch what she said, I want to say a few things. Why is this guy not speaking to Edo people? Okay, let me just hold my peace here. Watch this lady. I'll be right back. All right, thank you.
Hi, my Edo people. I'm here again to tell you that come September, the governorship election in Edo State, please do everything possible to make sure that APC does not take that state. Everything possible. I don't care who wins in either PDP or Labour Party. Please make sure APC does not win that state. Now, the confidence they have now in Toronto here, they're saying, oh, the election has already been won, election is over and all that, election is over and all that. Honestly, I don't know what is giving these people the confidence that is making them to say in Toronto here that election is over. What is making them to have that confidence? Is it because of the new CJN they just sworn in today, or why? Why? Please make sure it doesn't happen, and make sure you protect your vote when you vote. Don't let anybody tell you, go to court, go to court. You know what happens when you go to court. Please, Edo people, make sure APC does not in any way win Edo State. That man is not talking to anybody. He's not talking to us. He's not telling anybody his policies, what he wants to do. Oshomole is the one talking. Oshomole is his mouthpiece. Is he Oshomole that you people are going to vote for? Is he Oshomole that is going to govern the state eventually? Please, Edo people, make sure that man doesn't, APC doesn't smell that state. Thank you.
All right, thank you for watching. Why is APC candidate not speaking to the Edolite? Why is he not addressing the public? Here's the reason. Tinubu has said it. He has re-emphasized it. I will give Edo back to APC.
You want Edo back? No! As the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will give Edo back to you.
I am not prophesying like most of you know I'm a prophet. I'm not prophesying, but this is the established fact. The person you call your president, who I call Pablo Escobar, just the way he told Nigerians recently that he bought his seat, so also he has decided to also sell the seat of the governorship seat of Edo State to APC candidate. Do you understand? So whatever they're going to do on election day in next month, in September, it's just going to be formality. But I put it to you, they're going to grab it, the election, they're going to grab it, they're going to snatch it, they're going to give it to APC. The wickedness, remember, is against Obaseki, and Pablo Escobar is against Obaseki. Don't forget. Before this last election that made Obaseki a governor, the president, now, who wasn't the president then, he came out and addressed the public as a sculpture. Do not vote for Obaseki. He is not a Democrat because he refused God for that reason. Now he won. So if it is a payback time, so whatever they're going to do on that day is formality. They are giving it to APC. Do you understand? So that is by the way. Now, guys, I want you to watch this next video. What it takes to become a judicial officer under Pablo Escobar government, under the current regime, what it takes for one to become a judicial officer. The person that spoke in this video about the words is an outstanding and a renowned old son. He spoke on live television on Arise TV. Please, as you watch this video, do me a favor by giving this a thumbs up so that Facebook and YouTube can recommend it for more Nigerians to see. And please, if you are vexed with the current situations of Nigeria, intimidation and oppression, please do well to share this video for others to see. Thanks and God bless you.
Now by the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Jibrin Okutepe. Good to see you and thanks for your time. Many would say, well, let's leave politicians out of all of this and bring it to the realm of those who are within the sector. In this case, we're talking about the judiciary. Help us make sense of what you consider to be the most pressing of issues facing Nigeria's judiciary that the new CJN should prioritize.
Well, thank you, Solomon. And let me first of all congratulate my Lord, Honorable Justice Kudirat Emo Kekereku. I think she's coming to assume the mantle of leadership of Nigerian judiciary at the time that public confidence in the Nigerian judiciary is at its lowest ebb. And so I am not envying His Lordship at all. But from what I heard of His Lordship just now, she quickly identified three very important areas that His Lordship needs to focus on very urgently. First is in the area of recruitment of judicial officers. When we were growing up, nobody lobbied to be made a judicial officer. Your mien, your character, your strength of character, your comportment, your practice that was rooted in the purity of justice, your ethical code were the good qualities of a good judicial officer. And you are called upon to say, look, you are crossing over to the other side. But today, it appears that what you know hardly matters. It's who you know. And then you see judicial officers running helter-skelter, lobbying and engaging in all manner of conduct that undermine the recruitment process. So much so now that those who are not well connected, either politically, religiously, socially, or having a family connection, hardly gets appointed to the bench. So His Lordship must begin to interrogate the processes that brought some of these judicial officers to power. Nothing stops a revisit or a review of some appointments. So if you are on the bench and your decisions turn the law upside down or turn the law on its head, or the judgments you delivered are all contrary to all known norms of judgment delivery, and you deliver judgment that is completely devoid of justice, then such judicial officers is either corrupt or does not know the law. Whichever is the case, it must be shown the way out. Because as of today, the judiciary in Nigeria is receiving the highest criticism, and people no longer want to take their dispute to court, because when you come from courts, it is like, after all, what will happen? And so the popular doctrine of go to court has been propounded by Nigerian politicians. That's number one. Number two is that discipline in the judiciary. When a judicial officers engage in conduct that suggests that the judiciary is being brought into public ridicule, public obloquy, public disgrace, public disrepute by the kind of reckless orders being dished out, stopping elections, stopping political gatherings, stopping so many things, issuing injunctions that are reckless without regard to set guidelines. Such a judicial officer is not fit to occupy the hallowed office of a judicial officer, because the office of a judge is a serious office. It's not an office for Casanova. It's not an office for Playboy. It's not an office for a man who does not have capacity to resist temptation. It must be an office occupied by those, permit me the use of this ecclesiastical word, those who chose not to defile themselves with the king's meat. It must be an office that you can say no, even to those who appointed you. But it's difficult to see judicial officers. There are some, but infinitesimal number of them.
Let's get the third one.
So the third one is, His Lordship also mentioned, is the discipline in the legal profession. Now, the legal profession and the judiciary are Siamese twins. And when I grew up to meet this noble profession, there was nobility, integrity. No lawyers go to court to advance arguments that defeat the cause of justice. And it's completely there in our rules of professional conduct. In Rule 1 of the rules of professional conduct, the duty of a lawyer is to promote the rule of law and the cause of justice. When a lawyer, therefore, allows himself to be recruited to engage in conduct that block access to evidence that will aid the cause of justice, such a lawyer is engaging in professional misconduct. But when you see lawyers arguing that they are doing their job, in the doing of your job, you owe a duty to cause of justice. The fourth one is that the greatest area of law that has given the judiciary the bad name is political cases or apolitical cases. And unfortunately, His Lordship is meeting or is coming to head the Supreme Court that has taken us back to the era that the Supreme Court itself said we have gone past it. And that's the era of technicality. You are aware now that the Supreme Court of Nigeria has begun to give more credence to rules of courts. Before, we are told that once facts are pleaded, evidence in support of facts needed not to be pleaded. Evidence in support of facts pleaded can be stolen to support facts pleaded. But today, we are being told that when you are filing election petition, you must front load the witness statement of a subpoena witness. Mark you, subpoena is an order of court that says is directed at a person that you have no control over. Today, you either get subpoena or court order, and the court is now telling you that the evidence you got by subpoena, by court order, to support facts pleaded are not admissible to prove the facts of electoral fraud and malpractices that are visible even for the blind to see, only on the ground, and only on the ground that you fail to front load a witness statement of a subpoena witness. Now, Solomon, it defies logic for you to say your opponents should be willing to depose to a witness statement or note for you to crucify him. It is akin to saying that a man whose wife or whose husband is being taken to the Golgotha should be ready to give you evidence of the bad character of the husband or the bad character of the wife. But if that the wife has evidence that is not willing to release, or husband to release, the law provides in the Evidence Act for order or subpoena to be issued. So I do not see why the Supreme Court had elevated that principles of law or subpoena to the almightiness of in our electoral jurisprudence. So much so now that even when you have pleaded the facts of overvoting, pleaded the facts of electoral malpractices, and those documents are not available for you to list down all of those things, and you get an order of court to say, I've pleaded this fact, we are being told that your failure to front load a witness statement on oath amounts to an amendment of petition. So, my Lord needs, let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
She has nothing again to lose. She has everything to gain by establishing a judiciary that is second to none. A judiciary that the Commonwealth law country will be quoting the decisions of the courts like they used to be in those days. When you look at some of the decisions of the Supreme Court of old, Nafiu, Rabiu versus the states, and so many of those things, you will see the logicality of reasoning. And Supreme Court of Nigeria is a Supreme Court of law and Supreme Court of policy.
It looks like it.
Let no Supreme Court, let not the Supreme Court under his lordship issue policy statement that would destroy, derail, and return us back to Stone Age.
I think it's a fine place for us to leave it, and I'm so excited I refuse to interject because you're spot on, and Nigeria would need a man like you to say it the way it is and to see if we can actually set an agenda for our new CJN. Jibrin Okutepa, Senior Advocate of Nigeria,